All right, hey, this is Hans the Ramen Raider coming with you another episode of the Instant Noodle Recipe Time, the show where I show you what to do with your noodle. So yeah, today we've got a mee goreng from ABC Indonesia. It's the Spesial. And it's going to be fantastic. This is going to be the first of 3 episodes I'm going to do this morning / afternoon, just afternoon. And we've got a special guest for all 3 episodes, I believe. He's a highly acclaimed storyteller, Matthew Bella. He's working, doing the dirty work to come with a story for you, the people. And you don't even deserve it, but he's going to hook you up. Anyways... yeah. All this and more on Instant Noodle Recipe Time, but right now we have as much as we have, and that is the Matthew Bella. How are you doing today, sir?
Hi, the Ramen Raider. Thanks for having me on today.
That's the correct thing to say. So what's going on?
I learned that after many repetitions.
Okay. Well, you were about to tell me a story about someone we know and a condo. So why not?
I suppose it slides in. We do have more relevant things to talk about and topical issues, but yeah. So this while we were setting up the audio prior to the show, his phone, I guess, wanted to do a firmware update, or some of his equipment popped up with the notification. Would you like a firmware update right now? And he was, obviously not a good time. But it just reminded me of this one story. We have a friend of ours who's like, I don't know. The only way to put it is he's an adult child. He's lived off his parents his whole life and refuses to get a job to pay for any of the services which he demands of the world, right? Like internet. And so they had a house in Seattle, and I was hanging out with him there, and his mom came over, because it's literally her house. And he was trying to play some movie on the TV that they had, and he didn't have like any internet there because he couldn't pay for it.
Right.
And it was their vacation house, so they didn't keep it on. And so he was like, and I brought him some movies, and one of them was like an MKV, and it wouldn't play it. And I was like, okay, yeah, sometimes it doesn't do that. And he's like so into like pestering his mom for internet service and just like complaining how we can't live without it there. It's just, life isn't worth it. There's no internet. And
wow.
so he got her to do, so this update popped up on the TV, you know what I mean? Like, Smart Hub update, whatever. And, firmware update on the television, dude. And so he got her to use her hotspot on her phone, right? Using her data to do the update on the TV, just in case it might play that MKV format afterwards. I'm like, dude, it's not going to.
No.
That's just not how it works, right? There's an astronomical chance that that's included in there, And so, he sat there, on her phone, for probably
Are you in distress, sir?
He sat there on her phone for like probably half an hour just using your data, and I literally got disgusted, made a comment about it, and left. I swear to God. I asked B, she probably remembers this. I was like, I can't be present for this. And she's like, what? What's going on? And I had to explain it to her, how gross of a usage of her data is, like what kind of phone bill she's going to have and stuff, you know what I mean? And she was, and I didn't want to get that far because then I'd just make her mad at her son. And I was just like, I'm going to go out for a while. I can't stand it. I can't watch this.
All right, so it's time for our quote of the day. This is from the book Momofuku Ueno Speaks, quotations from the guy who invented instant noodles. Number 131. This looks kind of unique. It says, to die in order to float. And then in parentheses underneath it says, to be willing to risk death in order to succeed.
Ooh, that's a good one.
To die in order to float. So
wow, everything floats down here. Yeah. Everything floats down here, Timmy. That's a quote from Pennywise. I don't know.
Hope springs eternal. Hope springs eternal. Hope springs eternal. So I guess the first thing we should talk about is something that probably people that are way, way done dealing with, one would hope, is the stimulus. So yesterday morning, we were going to get $600 per person. Like, so if it's a couple, they would get $1,200, and if they had 2 children, they'd get another $1,200, so they get $2,400. Then the president said, "That's not really even any money. That's nothing. That's like a horrible amount of money. It's not enough. It's not enough." And he said that over and over and over, and then said, "I'm not going to sign anything unless it's $2,000 per person." I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he is useful for something, but problem is that $2,000 per person. I mean, Mitch McConnell was in there and he was going off not long ago about, "I don't want the people to have the unemployment money, the extra money, because they're making more money than they would if they were just working and there was no COVID. So, I mean, that's what's next. Dogs and cats living together. I just don't know what to do about that. I don't want it." So it's like the idea that he's, that like if it were the $500, which it were like originally per kid, we'd be getting like all of a sudden just like boom in your bank account $5,000 from the government, like an extra. That's like more than we get in our tax return. So it's like I don't see it. I don't see that happening. I think basically it's like, nope, this administration will not be making a thingy go through. What are you? I mean, I think people who wanted money aren't going to get it.
Well, the Ramen Raider, first of all, excellent impression of Mitch McConnell. Bang
That's
on.
not
dude.
my
That
good
was
one.
great.
It's hard to get into the.
You went to,
Mitch McConnell.
it's like just an old sleepy turtle, an old evil turtle.
Well, in Kentucky.
But yeah, this is just another example of President Madman making it about himself at the expense of the people he's supposed to be helping. So yeah, everybody. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what it was designed for, I guess. So that when you hear him say that $2,000, you get the little flash of dopamine in your brain that says, "Oh, he's on my side." But then you realize, as any intelligent person does, that the correct time to intervene in this process would have been like earlier on when it was being crafted, and negotiated, and his influence over his party could have resulted in a swifter resolution or the result that he's claiming to be looking for now, not stepping into the end saying, "No, this is crap," and just messing it all up and starting again and holding the whole thing up. It's all that's happening right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer because it's like, I don't know. We could definitely use that cash, and I know there's a lot of people who could use, like people who had businesses and they don't have businesses anymore because, the cheese famine. But yeah, I just don't know what to make of all that. I think basically what we can say is probably in the temporal space that the listener is in, they haven't gotten a dime yet. I could be wrong. It's happening. But I knew. Did I not, Mr. Bella, say in the last 5 days repeatedly that he wasn't going to sign it?
Yeah, I believe you called it. People don't really understand how the process works. So, it has to be agreed upon and then sent through the House of Representatives.
There was no thing giving
and then the President of the United States has to sign it, yeah.
There was no thing saying that there was any money going to the Smithsonian. That's complete BS.
Yeah, sure. I believe that there's a lot tacked onto it that might be extraneous. They always do that. I'm not sure of the Republican side. I think the Democrat side might be bloated only in taking care of
You
businesses.
mean like the defense bill where he wanted to tack on the thing against social media companies? Come on, what's that about?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dude, really?
Yeah, so that's always happens. I mean, no bill is just about that. I mean, everything is. It's called pig hearing. Pig hearing.
Pork barrel.
What's that?
You stand on top of the pork barrel and you shout out all these things that you want. It's all pork.
Right, piggybacks. Anyways.
Yeah. I think. I don't know.
So I don't know what all was in the bill. I mean, I'm not. I really haven't read through all of it. I mean, there might be something.
Have you read through half of the 5,000 pages?
What's that?
Have you read through half of the 5,000 pages at least?
Yeah, I'm maybe like halfway through it, and I finally made it through the introduction.
That was the thing that was funny too, because in his weird little speech, he does these weird speeches now that are like really well spoken, but it's like he's obviously reading something. It's kind of like that episode of Star Trek where there's the guy you can't see his mouth because he's behind such a large microphone, and they're like, wait, there's something wrong with him. I don't know.
I would like to know who's writing these speeches for him. Like, who is left in his team that's still that insane of a speechwriter where he's just like, yep. I mean, think of that guy's job. It's kind of like representing a serial killer who's known to be guilty as a pro bono for some fancy law firm what you're required to do every year. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like you're standing here next to this guy. You're like, this is my job. You know, like I'm in direct economy to my own morals. It makes me look bad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I may have difficulty getting work after this. There's a speechwriter who's writing that stuff for Trump. If this is all from his own head, then this is the greatest burst of intelligence we've seen from him in his political career.
I think it was mentioned that the only guy who knew about it, other than the guy videotaping it, was, what's his name, Mark Meadows? Isn't he like the communications director or something? I don't know.
Something like that.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's generally not. When the video came out, it like supposedly shocked all these people that work for him. They didn't have any clue this was coming down the pipe, you know. So, but I knew,
Yeah, he's a madman.
because after 4 years, I've become the Trump whisperer, and that's what I do now.
Ew, that just sounds slimy.
I know him so well. I can
Just whisper, Trump,
Donald.
It's gross.
Donald
Makes
wants
me
some
feel
pudding.
gross.
No, that's Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell wants the pudding. But, yeah.
When Mitch McConnell wants his pudding, and he's gonna get his pudding.
When he gets, there's like, if you go on Google Images and you type in Mitch McConnell, there'll be pictures of him smiling and pictures of him frowning. And the smiley face is, it's like, you want some pudding? And the frowny face is, oh, sorry, the dog pooped on the carpet. It's like, seriously, man. It's like, oh.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, someday he's going to die.
That guy has freaking frown lines, dude. It's like he frowns so much. It's like, when he smiles, it looks really, really like, not like, not a natural look for him.
No, a
But
giant
when he
baby who just pooped in
frowns,
his diaper.
it's just like, it is built in. The McConnell frown is a amazing thing.
He's a beautiful man.
You think so? He does have a fan club, and he does have a Teen Beat magazine. There's the Friends of McConnell, or the Teen Dream, Mitch McConnell edition. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I saw that. There was like they were camping on all these old Republicans. Here's the noodle.
Oh, wow.
Nice sweet, nice salty, nice spicy.
Oh, the
ABC,
noodles.
it's always a winner.
Oh yeah, so I made that prototype of the ramen bread last night.
Oh yeah, Matt's coming over for the holiday, which is descending on the 25th. Note, he doesn't hang out with anybody. He has no friends, and he sits in a dark, little mini tiny house and writes his book all day. So we feel safe, like knowing that he'll come over and probably not spread any kind of disease or germs. And
Not intentionally.
and I mean, it helps me fill out my contractual obligation because Matt's mother pays me to be his friend. So. Yeah.
Just a few times a year.
Yep.
Good side hustle.
$50, you know,
do it.
when I really need $50.
How do you think I kept hanging out with Zach?
Exactly. Oh God,
It's a financial relationship.
That's jacked
Mutually
up.
beneficial relationship.
That's jacked up. Didn't you say something like she was gonna pay you to hang out with him?
No, it wasn't as definite as that. No, I went out there to help him move, and yeah, they paid me for my time.
Anyway,
they don't pay me for my. I'll go out there and help Zach for free anytime. I mean, they didn't want me to help him grow up. They're like, Matt, can you help my son grow up?
yeah.
I'm like, sure, for $300. Fuck yeah. I'm sorry, you left the bleep button on that one.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, I think that was correct use of French. Yeah, that was.
But yeah, so I made that ramen bread prototype last night.
Neato. You just used the sauce.
Correct. So with that, the Hakka noodles, the spicy ones, they
Are you talking about the Asha thick cut noodle Hakka style available at Costco?
Correct. Chili sauce flavor.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So all they come with is a packet of sauce, So in our discussions, we determined that removing the oil from the bread recipe and because the flavoring packets would be so oily, would be a good idea. So in lieu of a tablespoon and a half of olive oil, I used a tablespoon and a half of that flavoring sauce that comes with it, which is only about a packet and a half, and
it's not a lot. I mean, that's a big loaf of bread.
And then I put a whole bunch of diced spring onions in there and just threw it in there. And it came out tasting like, so the recipe is like an Italian herb, recipe.
Yeah.
But, so I just took out all the stuff to mix it that, all the, no parsley, no Parmesan cheese, no onion flakes, all that.
What did you just say on my program?
What's that?
You referred to a type of cheese?
No.
Yeah, you said some kind of cheese.
Oh, Parmesan.
That's what I thought you said.
Parmesan. Parmesan.
Yeah, because we all know that Parmesan and Parmesan are two completely different things that are unrelated. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
I believe one is
it
French.
Came out like a beautiful, toasty, crispy loaf, crispy crust loaf of bread that smelled good, and then I tried it, and it just kind of tasted like the sauce. I thought about doing one today. I got a bunch of those noodles, so I thought about just putting in same recipe but with 4 flavoring packets and seeing how that comes out.
I don't know, man. It's not salty. That flavor needs to be brought out. If you're gonna put it, first off, it's supposed to be just applied directly to noodles. It's not something that's action-packed, that would go in a soup.
Definitely. That's why I'm thinking about trying one of those lye noodle ones.
No, it's gonna be the same thing. What I would say is that white curry. The white curry will do it.
Oh, definitely. That's the final product, but I'm trying some test runs before I get there. Gotcha. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. With my because I do have some noodles I can throw into the mix and not cry about. Well, just wasting. Because I threw away that loaf of bread last night. And I was like, okay, that's
You threw it away.
Well, dude, it was just tasted like normal bread with barely a little tang to it of the sauce. I could make a totally better one today. I'm going to make a couple more today. So.
You could have given it to some homeless people.
I'm not getting anywhere near biological transmission vectors, brother.
That's right, you're not, because you're gonna come over and hang out, so.
Correct.
Okay. Alright.
I'm doing it for your safety. I'm being cruel to homeless people for you.
For my safety. I appreciate that. I do.
I'm happy about that.
Sesame seeds. This is beef with a little bit of this stuff called chabe sauce. That's another one that ABC makes. It's quite good. I absolutely love it. I want to thank the folks over at ABC for shooting this stuff over. Super kind. Super duper kind. Let's see. And we're going to add a little bit of coriander on top because coriander is a good thing. Just a couple leaves. Ooh, I got a little on my thumb, Matthew, and it's quite delicious. The sauce. The sauce.
The sauce.
The sauce. Remember the sauce.
Respect the sauce.
Know before you know. Yeah, let's see here. Now we can do the zooming. Let's see if we just go like this. And yeah, we'll let the rotato go. You will appear for the next episode, correct?
Yeah, sure.
You don't have anything better to do. All right, well, let's turn up the tunes, let rotato go for a minute, and you'll see yeah, just hold on. Hold on. Lovely mee goreng from ABC. This is their Spesial. You can make it in a cup and you can have it anywhere. So do so. And the next episode you will see will be this. This is yakisoba from Minraku. Japanese yakisoba. We'll do that up. And we'll see you next time. It's been Hans the Ramen Raider wishing you enjoyment of your noodles each and every day. Have a good one. Until tomorrow.